So I'm back with another review on The Walking Dead Season 8 Episode 2, The Demanded. I'm like 98% sure that's what it's called. Anyway, if the first thought I had with this episode was that they were trying to do some artsy-fartsy stuff with it. By that I mean like the whole timeline stuff again. You know what they did with the first episode, like the whole flash forward, back forward, present, and a lot of people didn't like that. I personally didn't really mind it because I like guessing, you know, that's the way it should be. But a lot of people didn't understand the timelines, and so I can understand completely why they didn't like it. But it starts off with basically Morgan leading the Hilltop into the Savior's den and to take down them. And also there's this smoke that is that is in front of Carol and King Ezekiel. If you've ever seen The Mist, then it's like that. And it's going over them, so it's kind of really confusing. But when it goes through the episode, you kind of see like that's to come, you know, the Mist. So technically, the episode that we're seeing is in the past, if that makes sense. So the Mist is like the current situation, and the episode we're seeing, you know, how it's unfolding is basically the past. It's not as complicated as the last episode, you know, but I still don't really like the way that they're shooting that. But we totally see a different Morgan. To me, this episode is like everybody's like fighting their demons, you know, mentally, because like Morgan is fighting to be this completely guy that he does not want to be, you know, like kill them all, and he keeps flashing back to what Rick said about killing them all. And so he goes in there wanting to kill everybody, and he's cocky, and he's just like saying to the people that he can't be killed, which makes me think that's going to happen. Or it's making me think that he's going to go nutty and Rick will have to kill him, fight his friend. And in this episode we've seen Tara in the previous. We haven't seen a lot of Tara, but we know that she has been hurt a lot and confused a lot, and her girlfriend obviously died by the Savior's, Denise. Not that she was in it a lot. And to be honest, I didn't really form an attachment to her, so when she died I didn't feel anything. I know that sounds cold and whatever, but I just didn't attach to her, so I couldn't feel anything. But obviously Tara did, and she felt pain towards Glenn as well, because she has a strong friendship with Glenn. So when that happened to him, obviously she was revenge. So she went in there to like kill the Saviors and Jesus and her and there, and Jesus tells her to drop her gun because there's a Savior that's surrendering, his hands up in the air, but she's weary. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, Tara, stop being so, what's the word, judgmental, because just because there's bad saviors doesn't mean they're all bad saviors. But she was right, and the Savior grabbed Jesus and threatened to kill him, and said that he puts his pants on purpose to get sympathy, basically. Now, all through this episode I was like, okay, I'm not being funny here, but to me The Walking Dead has always been Rick, Daryl, little Carol, Michonne and Maggie, you know, all the people. So I was like, why are we seeing the Hilltop, just the Hilltop, and hardly any Rick and Daryl, when Daryl Norman said that there would be more of them too? But I know I shouldn't have judged so early on in the episode, because we actually did see quite a lot of Daryl and Rick in the episode, and I'm hopefully see a lot more. So Daryl and Rick go to get guns, and there's this scene that is really like, how do I put this actually? See, Rick, he has been like a little hamster, hibernating basically with his fighting skills. That's what I meant. Like, we've hardly seen him fighting at all, and so a hand-in-hand combat was really good, and it showed you just how far Rick has came with his fighting skills, because when I was watching the hand-in-hand fight combat between him and our saviour, I was like, maybe he could have took the governor this time, because he does fight dirty now. Rick, he didn't back then. So when Rick is fighting this guy, and of course Rick wins, he's like, where's your guns? And then he goes into the room and he sees that it's a baby, a newborn actually, and he gets really upset, and the music is just beautiful. It sounds like A Mercy of Living, the score when Laurie dies, and I think that's what it's meant to be, like a kind of repercussion, so to speak, with that, when that happened. So I loved that scene completely. That was just a beautiful, haunting, sad scene, because he's seen that not all the saviours were bad, that the saviour was and just trying to protect his child. That could have easily been Rick and Judith, you know, and I think that's what Rick was thinking. And of course the little group, Aaron, Eric and Tobin, go to the other side and fight the saviours. To be honest, I'm not fond of the people apart from Aaron, and I'm just going to say this now in case I forget later, but Aaron, I think his name's Eric or Aaron, and he's hit, and I'm really sadistic for saying this, but I just hope he's written out, because he's just kind of useless now. We don't really see him a lot, and when we do, it's just kind of like, I'm like, what did he last say? What is he like as a character, if that makes sense? But we're completely different, seeing a different Morgan, like I said. When the last time he was all about not killing, well, this is completely opposite. He's all about killing. I forgot to say as well, when Tara is like, we need to kill the saviour and all that, Jesus is like, I'll tell Maggie, because obviously she's the Hilltop leader, and she's like, well, I'll tell Rick. And to me, it's like a competition between who's the better leader, like a kind of I'll piss in your boots sort of thing. And it's just kind of annoying from Tara. I've started to not like her again. King Ezekiel and Carol, sorry, not the old woman, but the woman, are travelling, and I'm not going to lie, I don't know where the hell they're going, because King Ezekiel talks and I sleep. Sorry, he does. He's boring to me. The only part I like about it is Shiva, and I think that Shiva's going to die soon. I just have this weird prediction. So yeah, I think they're going somewhere, obviously, to take down the saviours. They're going to attack, I think. I got that impression anyway. And he's trying to make light of the situation, but it's just silly, because let's be real here, it's not a light situation. They should be taking it seriously, and okay, there's sometimes where it's appropriate to make light situations, but the last time Rick tried to be all like that, and it just didn't end up good for him. So I was kind of bored at the whole kingdom bit. I will say again, I don't think you need the kingdom in it. I really don't. I'm seeing Daryl kind of like a kind of tiger himself, you know, like on the prowl, like but that's good, because we have seen Daryl in the shadows recently, you know, just like there but not there, if you know what I mean. Like, he hasn't been on the front line. So the Saviours surrender and Morgan comes out and he wants to kill them all, but Jesus says that's not what they do. Then Rick gets held at gunpoint by Maurice, I think that's his name, from season 1. You know, the group that split up and took Sophia's teddy. So he's part of the Saviours. How fucked up is that? That was actually a huge shock to me. I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm really scared for Rick. Is he going to get kidnapped? Is Maurice going to sell him out to Negan? But seriously, I'm going to check a trailer for next week. I'm hoping that Maurice, whatever his name is, has some humanity and doesn't do that. I also like there was a lot of action in this, you know, gunfighting and all that, and there was hand action in it. So I'll give